Time is something that everyone familiar with. 60 seconds is 1 minute, 60 minutes it's 1 hour, or 24 hours is 1 day, and so on. This is known as the linear time and is something that everyone is familiar with and agree upon. But consider that if someone came to you on street and asked you to draw the time, what do you draw? You might draw a clock or a watch ticking every second, or you might draw a calendar with X's over each day and represent the passing of time. But that's all. Those drawing would be just physical representation of the passing of time. Those drawing would just scrape the surface of the enigma that is time, something that seemingly runs our life and is unavoidable, can be explained by even the smartest people on earth. So what is time, and can we prove the time even exists? Aristotle once said, time is the most unknown of all unknown things. That was nearly 2500 years ago, and it still stands to today. If you were to go to the Google and type in what is time, you would find that it says time as a dimension, and in many ways it is when you text a friend and ask them to meet for a coffee, you would not give the same place without time. However, there is a flaw in the definition of time. It leaves too many doors unopened because time is also a measurement. For example, I was born in 1990, that was over 20 years ago. If I had to say I was born 18 billion kilometers in the past, that would not make much sense. And people would probably look at me like I'm crazy with the special dimension, the third word. That we live in, it's very easy to go back and forth between places because these things are essentially fixed in space. If I went to the store to buy the groceries, I forgot milk, I could easily go back and buy some milk. However, the time that is unable to retrieve it is lost forever into the past. An object placed in the 3D space will stay there almost indefinitely. If I place the bottle on the table, it will just stay there, but the bottle still falls victim to the time. See, time is like an arrow, it moves in one direction. Scientists fittingly called this arrow of time. If you one day woke up and found yourself floating in the middle of the empty space, would you be able to tell which way is down or which way is left or right? Probably no, because there's no dimensions, there is no arrow. However, time is much simpler or real. See, time comes from past, originating at the Big Bang, where our history lies, and is fixed through the present, where we are essentially prisoners of the towards the unknown and the turbulent future. We can remember things from the past, like how I can tell you that this morning I went to the store, bought the groceries and then forget to buy milk. At the same time, I can tell you what I ate for breakfast next Thursday. The arrow of time originated at the Big Bang and has been moving forward ever since. We use the second law of thermodynamics to represent that. This is nothing but as known as entropy. Think of entropy as a measure of disorder in universe. At the Big Bang, all the matter in the universe was compact into an infinitely small point that is considered a very low entropy situation, a very orderly situation that would be similar to stuffing every shock that was ever made into one drawer. In that situation, no 100% certainty, various shocks would be ever since Big Bang. All the matter in the universe has been expanded away from each other, making the universe is a higher entropy system. Because the entropy and because of the arrow of time, we have galaxies, stars, planets, and even life. Entropy is the reason that you can tell the difference between the past and the future. Explains why every human is born and then lives, then dies, always in that order. If there is no entropy, if there are no change in the universe, you would not be able to tell the difference between the year 2017 and the year 1 billion no matter what do you have, time moves forward or does not stop for anyone or anything. At least on the macro scale, see, the arrow of time walks and is extremely noticeable. On large scale, the skills that you and I operate on every day, but at a quantum level the time operates differently. Take the situation where you woke up in the middle space. There you have no idea which way is down, which way is up, which way is left or right. It's very unique situations that only ablaze the vastness of the empty space. But if you come back to earth, it's very easy for you to orient yourself. The arrow of time works in a similar way on a macro level, the big level. It's very easy for you to tell the year 1900 is different from the year 2018 and or 19. It's very easy to view the flow of the time. However, on a micro scale, if you look at a deep down the physics that makes up the universe, entropy and subsequently time, is not so obvious. If I were to record myself cracking an egg and pouring its guts into the bowl, then I reversed the footage, you would easily be able to tell that footage had been reversed. However, if I record pendulum swinging back and forth 5 minutes and then reverse the footage, show it to the random person on the street, will the footage has been reversed? The answer is probably not. See, there the arrow of time seems to flow in one direction on the macro scale, but as you take parts of it away and skim it down to be bare bones of the particle that makes up the universe, time seems to work and flow in every direction, both forward and backward. There are no laws of physics that state the past is any different from the future. The only reason why you can think about what you want to have for your dinner tomorrow as opposed to what you want to have for dinner yesterday is because of the arrow time, because of the entropy, because of the universe at the beginning, or at least it seems like you might be starting to why the arrow of time and entropy are so important. They quite literally govern our lives, and the universe see the fact that entropy is increasing is well known. It's the reason why life today is the way that it is. However, not many people are addressing the question, that is why was the entropy of the universe so low in the first place. Well, the answer is simple. It was lower yesterday than it was today. You can take this logic all the way back to the Big Bang. You hear that a lot of universe came into being instances of Big Bang, and Big Bang like a big sound, a big explosion. And for all we know as of now, that may be true. However, it might not be true. We have the physics of the Einstein general relativity that allows us to go back into the mere seconds after the Big Bang, but after that our equation break down. That's as far as we can go for now. There's no law of physics yet that states that there was no time before the Big Bang and perhaps the reversed arrow of time. We just don't have the science to look that far back yet. In the previous video, I discussed the situation that may occur in the distance future because entropy is increasing. With time, there will eventually be a time where everything in universe is so far apart from one another that space will essentially be empty. Everything will be too far apart way to interact with another, all the way down to the atoms that makes everything in the universe. But just as the temperature fluctuates day to day, so the entropy in the universe, although very small fluctuations. A small time scale such as human life overruns real time scales such as tenth of atoms of the 10 to the 56 years. It is possible that quantum fluctuation could cause an extremely random extreme entropy decrease. This would create conditions similar to the Big Bang as we know it and could explain the arrow of time and the origin of universe. However, in order to answer this question, we need to unite the quantum mechanics with Einstein general relativity. This would provide a scientific link between the quantum world of atoms with the micro world of the star, galaxies, black holes in the universe. That is top the theory of everything, and is something that many scientists are working on right now. With the theory, we may be able to, for the first time, to explain how and why the universe will live came into existence, maybe even proof that the multiverse exist. If you'd like to help in finding theory of everything go down in history as a scientific genius, then you'll definitely need to study up on the relativity as well as the quantum world. You can do both of these things over brilliant responsible. So just go there and search for Google for this time.